advice would you have for people to get them to start saving and to increase saving?
Yeah, the best advice I would say is one, if you're automatically enrolled, great, but it would be to set it up so that you increase at least 1% a year, up to that 10 to 15% savings rate. And, I typically recommend if you have like a pay adjustment or a costing of living increase that happens, say, every July, coincide it with that so that you don't actually feel the impact in your paycheck. So say you get a 1.5% increase, cost of living increase, or you get a raise, that's a great time to increase your savings rate so that in your 401k, so you don't really feel the impact to your paycheck.
Okay, but people still aren't saving enough for retirement. Is that correct?
Yes, in general, people aren't. And some of the reasons that we see that they aren't is because they have high, they may have a lot of debt payments. They have competing priorities. They're trying to save for college. They're trying to pay off their student loans. They're trying to buy a car, or a house. And so it is important, to save, as much as you can without overextending yourself, because if you save too much and then you have to tap into it with withdrawals, we don't necessarily want that either. So it's really important to have a budget and to understand, how can you pay down your debt and save a little bit for retirement. The first step is really just to try to save up to the company match. If you're not doing that, you are leaving free money on the table.
Okay, now, one mistake that I found that people make is that they save only in the 401k. Now, talk about the importance of saving outside of the 401k, especially because you mentioned the emergency plan. I'm sorry, emergency budget.
Yeah, so it is important to save for retirement and to get that company match. But outside of that, you do want to have a little nest egg, whether it's for an emergency or a rainy day. It could be if your car breaks down, the hot water heater, goes. You want to have some pot of money to put towards that. And so, and that can seem overwhelming because you might think, oh, I'll never be able to have enough to make it meaningful. But if you just start with a little bit, a few bucks each week, you set it aside, over time that will grow and it will help you from taking on more debt or having to tap in. Another great thing is, if you get a tax refund, you can use some of that money to start as an emergency fund. And it just has to be a little bit every week. And so if you can find places to cut back, it'll help you from generating more debt or having to tap into that retirement plan.